What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wolfpack Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Clemens. Here with me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Michael Plant and Mike Bonney. What's going on, guys?
What up?
How's it going?
Good. Ready for Sunday football week 6 to get here.
Oh, man, we already had Thursday night's game. I thought that was going to be a little bit better, but we had some good garbage time with Philly.
Why would you think that game was going to be better?
Because Tampa Bay's secondary is just beaten down. Richard Sherman went down, too. I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't great for Smith.
There's just really one problem. Unfortunately, Jalen Hurts is fantasy good, but he is not NFL good at the moment.
You don't say.
At the moment.
At the moment. But before we get started, I'd like to remind you guys to please subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe Wolfpack Fantasy Football Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. But what do you guys say we hop right into our game recap?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Brady was good as usual, guys. I should start it off. Bucs beat Philly 28-22. Philly actually covered. Brady was 34-42 for 297, 2 touchdowns and an interception for 19 fantasy points. Not a bad day at the office.
Not a great day, but not bad.
Yeah, not bad. The guy who did have a great day, well, there was two on the Bucs offense. Leonard Fournette, 22 attempts for 81 yards and got 2 close touchdowns. That I know you were playing him in our home league, LaPlante. I bet you loved that.
I loved watching it, but I didn't love seeing him go down with an injury for a little bit. But it was pleasantly surprising to see him go back out there.
Who?
Antonio Brown, buddy.
Oh.
No, I was talking about Leonard Fournette, man.
Oh.
Yeah,
no.
see, what are you talking about?
I don't want to talk Leonard Fournette. I traded him away earlier, and this is what he does to me.
He did you dirty.
Yes, he did. But I mean, it was due to happen. Ronald Jones ain't doing shit for this backfield. Giovanni Bernard was a little banged up.
Rojo's toast, man.
Yeah, he's no longer involved in this offense. So everybody who got Leonard Fournette for a cheap value in drafts, you're just reaping the benefits.
30 fantasy points from regular season Lenny this week. Antonio Brown was your target leader. We said heading into draft season that he was the best value, and apparently he's just probably still the best receiver in the offense. Caught 9 of 13 targets for 30 yards and a touchdown.
I really thought you were going to push the limits there and say he was the best receiver in the NFL again. Not even going to lie.
No. I'm not going to say that, but he's still really good for being old.
He's top 20, I think.
For being old and pretty much missing a year and a half of football, right?
Oh, I know. And then just to be on this pace with Tom Brady, I mean.
Yeah, they have a chemistry like no other. It's super weird. But guys, there was even O.J. Howard sighting. He was second on the team in receiving, caught 67 targets for 49 yards, and he also got the end zone. Is he streamer moving forward, or are we gonna wait?
Gronk's probably gonna be back next week.
Yeah, I mean, if not next week, the following week. So it's going to be a short-term streamer, if anything.
I'm sure you can find someone better.
I'm just really loving Antonio Brown's usage in this offense. I mean, last 3 games, he's pacing the team with 32 targets. The next highest is Mike Evans with 24. I mean,
Godwin's non-existent, apparently.
Only 21 targets.
So is Mike Evans, man.
Evans has a few good weeks. Had a few good weeks.
He's got the 2 touchdowns in the past 3 weeks, so he's been helping with that. But
yeah, and then this game he goes 2 receptions out of 4 targets, 27 yards.
He dropped a big one though.
That's who Mike Evans is, and that's why I never want him on any of my teams. I just don't ever draft him, and I'm completely okay with it.
He's big boomer bust with these touchdowns. I mean, he's only got 215 yards.
But before we move on to the Eagles, are you guys worried about Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, or are you just still rolling them out there no matter what?
Yeah, I think you have to.
Got to roll them out there. That offense is just money.
I know. Tom Brady's on pace to break Peyton Manning's yardage record this year, even without a 17th game. It's kind of stupid how well he's playing right now.
Goat.
And then jumping over to the Eagles side, their offense was kind of a struggle, except for when they got into garbage time for the most part. Hurts, like I said, good for fantasy, but not good for regular football. 12 of 26 for 115, a touchdown, and he threw a pick. But he had 10 rushing attempts for 44 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. So there's that floor, man, and he ended up with 24 fantasy points. Outscoring Tom Brady.
And people are wondering why Miles Sanders is irrelevant in this offense.
It was weird.
He had a few good runs.
Yeah, Sanders had the Bucs are the best team in the NFL at stopping the run by the most part. Like teams don't even run on him, and he had 9 attempts for 56 yards. They just Sirianni, that's the coach's name, right? They just don't run it anymore. I mean, Sanders got more attempts than he did in the few weeks prior to this, but still, that's not enough for
right.
him to be.
Well, they're always going to be down, it seems like, so they have to throw.
Yeah, man, they're kind of gross to watch.
You'd think so.
And Ike, like you alluded to earlier, we thought this was a smash spot for Devonta Smith, and he only saw 4 targets, catching 2 of them for 31 yards.
And a few, like one of the throws, Hurts just sailed it by him.
Yep.
Wasn't even close. So, I mean.
Against probably one of the worst secondaries in football right now because they're so banged up. And he sees 4 targets.
It's not how you win.
No, like Quez Watkins, Zach Ertz outpaced him. They had 5 and 6
Why are you
targets.
throwing deep targets to Rager and Watkins when you could just throw it to Devontae Smith, who burned Richard Sherman on the first play, but Hurts missed him?
Well, that's not hard. There's no way that Sherman could keep up with that guy. And he got hurt in the first quarter. That's what I mean. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how the receiving options didn't just smash in that game.
Except for Ertz.
Because wide receivers are the most inconsistent position in fantasy football. How many times I got to tell you?
Blah, blah,
That's always a great analytic response, like blah, 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 blah.
Totally. But I think that pretty much wraps it up. We can mention Zach Ertz. Hopefully when you guys saw that Goddard was out, you hopped to the waiver wire to get him. He caught a touchdown, 13 fantasy points, so it's a good
And then got traded to the Cardinals.
Yep, then gets traded to the Cardinals. So,
and no, he is not eligible to play this Sunday.
For a second, I was like, whoa, this might have been a steal.
Of course you would have. This is the whole reason you're on Zach Ertz this offseason, just because you knew he was going to get traded and play 2 games in 1 week.
That's funny stuff.
But, I mean, I think we're ready to hop into our game player previews if you guys want to.
Sure. Hold on. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you're not excused, buddy. You're not excused.
Bye weeks are upon us, gentlemen. Falcons, Saints, Jets, 49ers. Get all them guys out of your lineups. They ain't playing this week.
Really?
I mean, you could have just honestly just sat every Jets player like they're on bye week all the time. But...
I know.
yeah. That's pretty much true. But so jumping into our first game, unfortunately, there's another London game early.
What are you talking about? Unfortunately, this means we got football.
Do you know who's playing?
Long.
It's always gross football, though.
It's Dolphins and Jaguars.
We got it's super funny. I seen a quote with Trevor Lawrence earlier, and I showed it with you guys too. Trevor goes, "Oh, it's cool we get to play in London, but it's weird going to London to play a team that is just up the road from us."
Yeah,
Miami.
Totally fucked up. Take a 20-minute flight instead. You're taking an 8-hour flight or whatever, or something. Whatever.
I wonder how much.
I'd be like, what do you mean? We're not playing in Florida.
But it's just an hour up the road.
But jumping into the Dolphins at first, Tua Tagovailoa was activated off of IR, and it sounds like if everything goes good in pregame warmups, he is going to be the starter. What does that do for the pass catchers in this offense, like Jalen Waddle? I guess you consider Myles Gaskin a pass catcher after the 10 targets he saw.
Yeah, it was just 1 game.
But how do you guys feel about Tua this week at the pass catchers?
I'm I'm not a huge fan of it. A player coming off injury, you're never too high on. But I could say this: Gesicki's going to see a downgrade in his touches just because you don't have Jacoby Brissett throwing him the ball 10 plus times.
But it's to target the tight end Viola, though.
I mean, in the preseason it was, but not in the regular season.
I think it's going to be more Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's going to lean towards Waddle as well. But it's weird. Gesicki gets a lot of slot snaps. That's the thing. So
with Parker being out,
Parker's out with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, with Parker being out, we're going to get Preston Williams in there again. I mean, he's seen 5 targets last week. He had 60 yards. I mean, you think he's worth a play this week with Parker out and Tua coming back?
No.
I'd wait and see.
Let me ask you guys a question since I'm in this predicament this weekend. This is a prime matchup for Myles Gaskin. And I know he blew up last week. Who would you rather start? Myles Gaskin, Javonte Williams, or Alex Collins?
Javonte.
I like Myles Gaskin with Parker out again. I mean,
yeah,
but that was Jacoby Brissett who was targeting him, not Tua. Did Tua ever target him that much?
I mean, about Ike, I don't know. He was good last year with Tua as his quarterback for a lot of the season. And then we only saw a game of Tua this year before he went down. And he does.
Is he get all the rushing too, though?
That I can't answer you.
I don't.
There's no chance he's getting 10 targets again.
And they're not going to be down this game like they were the whole entire time.
I would be off on him, to be honest.
I mean, out of the 7 whole attempts that they ran the ball last week against the Buccaneers, Myles Gaskin had 5 of them.
Yeah, like we said, teams just don't run on the Buccaneers.
No, they abandoned the run. So, I mean, he's going to see more touches on the ground this week. He just might not get.
Has he gone over double-digit rushes this year?
I don't think so. Malcolm Brown's a pest, man, in the rush game.
Brutal.
It is what it is. Yeah. But jumping over to Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence.
Myles Gaskin in week 3 did get 13 attempts.
Nice.
Trevor Lawrence.
65.
Sweet.
6 targets also. So, I mean.
That's probably what you're looking at, I guess.
LaPlante, what was it week 1 with Tua?
He had 9 attempts, 5 targets. He caught all 5 targets, too.
Yeah, that's still not awful. But
that was against New England, guys. That was against New England.
Okay.
Thanks for not answering my question, what I asked you earlier. But
what did you say?
Who to start?
You said Gaskin.
I said Gaskin. Parker out.
But jumping over to the Jaguars, Lawrence, he's been a lot better lately. Are you guys comfortable streaming him? Especially the Dolphins have been getting lit up through the pass game. How do we feel about Lawrence this week?
I wouldn't feel comfortable starting him.
This is a tougher pass defense in the Miami Dolphins, especially against rookies.
They've sucked lately, man.
Yeah, against Tom Brady.
At any point, Xavier Howard can get like 1 or 2 picks.
He's out, Ike.
Is he really? How about is Byron Jones out too?
That I'm not sure, but it's Xavier Howard. He did make the trip, but it doesn't sound like he's going to play. So you guys are out on Trevor still in 1 quarterback.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
And 1 quarterback, but it's
not 1 quarterback.
Okay. James Robinson at the running back. He's an automatic low-end RB1 in your lineups every week. But jumping to the wide receivers, I guess we could lump them into the pass catchers. Marvin Jones, Visca, and Dan Arnold. Because Dan Arnold got a lot of work last week, man. You got to admit, he got a lot of work. And tight end sucks. Who do you like between Visca and Marvin Jones?
Visca.
He's going to get the close to the scrimmage touches, and he's also getting the deep targets now.
His ADOT's going up, so that's what you like to see.
But I'm not a huge believer in Dan Arnold. I mean, if you're going to be going for one of these tight ends that are on the back end, you want one in a good offense. This is not a good offense.
But they're always down in the plant. Garbage time.
They're always down, but if you're looking for a tight end that wants to score, you need to have one in a good offense. This is just not a good offense.
Yeah, no, I agree. The thing that I like to see from Dan Arnold last week was that he fumbled on the first possession of the game.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
They still kept going to him, and he caught a touchdown, didn't he, later in the game? I want to say he had a solid week. So that makes me intrigued. I don't know if you could start him. I know some analysts are saying to go ahead and start him, but I don't.
In a deeper league, I guess.
No touchdown for Dan Arnold.
Let's see how he does this week, and then they're on bye the following week, and then let's go from there. But I think that covers that game.
Yeah, it will mostly be all asleep during that game anyways. Make sure you set your lineups, boys.
Yep, I'll be awake.
Me too.
Kansas City Chiefs at Washington football team. I'm pretty excited to watch this game. This should be a
shit stomping.
For a second, I thought you were serious.
I mean, I know Washington.
Why is he so excited about Washington and Kansas City right now?
I mean, I got a lot of fantasy implications in this one.
Yeah, but a little bit way too much.
I got Terry McLaurin all over the place now, and also
Tyreek Hill.
But injuries, CEH out with the MCL sprain. Tyreek Hill questionable. That popped up on the injury report. He's got a quad injury, but Andy Reid said he was bouncing around at practice on Friday and should be good to go.
How's that?
Then this one worries me. And for the football team, McLaurin, like I said, I got him everywhere, and he tweaked a hamstring on Thursday in practice. And then he didn't practice on Friday. But Coach Ron Rivera
in the week, man, that sucks.
It worries him. Rivera seems to be positive, and he thinks he's going to be able to go. It's just, I hate it.
Why, you hate it because you just traded for him, or you hate it because, he's a viable asset this year?
It's also because Kareem Hunt is now a full-time starter.
Well,
you can't make that shit up. It's just hilarious.
Gold. And then he drops Goddard, and then
yeah, that's fucked up. The thing that I'm worried about it for both McLaurin and Hill is they're both explosive receivers, man. And you try to explode off that line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden you just tweak it. You're done. You're done for a couple weeks, like we just saw with Christian McCaffrey, practicing all damn week, and then all of a sudden has a setback, and now he gets placed on IR. It's crazy. But
at least he finally got placed on IR.
But jumping into the Chiefs, you're starting Mahomes, obviously. Darrell Williams and Jerk Deadlegs McKinnon are man in the backfield now. Guys, what are we doing with that? Ike, I'll let you start.
I'd start Darrell Williams in the flex.
Yeah, I mean, I said it on the Fantasy Six-Pack Hour when I had to, jump into the fire with Joe. But I like Darrell Williams having the same value as CH in this offense. I mean,
maybe a little bit lower, but
still, you got the scoring opportunities. He catches the ball. He's going to be the same, I think, as CEH, just not as explosive. He's going to get the same workload, though. I mean, I think, what is it? Is it McKinnon?
I said, yeah, Deadlegs McKinnon.
Yeah, Deadlegs McKinnon. I mean, he may get a little bit in the passing game, but they're going to realize he doesn't have much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think.
Watch him get a touchdown.
I think Darrell will be good. Like, Darrell Williams doesn't have to worry about Darrell Williams. Like CEH had to worry about Darrell Williams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the pass catchers, if Tyreek Hill can't go for some reason.
You're plugging in Mecole Hardman.
I was going to ask, can you trust Mecole after him having one of his better weeks last week?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Still couldn't catch the ball. What was it, 7-12?
I mean, when you don't get that many targets a game, you're not used to it.
Fair enough.
He had one less target than Tyreek Hill last week. He had 12. He caught 9 of them. He paced the team.
Okay. That's not bad. I thought it was 7.
So, I mean, if Tyreek Hill can't play, or if he's, might even be the decoy, I think Mecole Hardman is worth a flex play this week.
I hate it, but
I hate it, but I mean, it's true.
What about Flash Gordon?
I mean, I liked it. I like seeing how he was involved in the offense, but he does not look like the same receiver. He looks more of the guy you can trust in the red zone, third downs, that Mahomes is going to be looking for if Travis Kelce is being doubled.
It's like it's been 8 or 9 years since he had that blow up.
What do you want to say?
I mean,
one last question about the Chiefs. Are we starting Travis Kelce?
If he's not injured, yes, you're starting him. I mean, come on.
That was a joke, guys. Thanks for laughing. What the hell? Jump into the Washington football team. Taylor Heineke. ECR right now has him as a top 12 quarterback. You guys buying that shit?
Against this terrible Kansas City offense, I do like it.
He needs Terry McLaurin there, though.
Yes, if he's out, Terry McLaurin, it's going to be a very brutal day for him. I mean, DeAndre Carter was the second leading target leader in their offense last week.
Yeah,
And
Curtis Samuel tweaked his groin again. He had a setback.
It's going to be a lot of J.D. McKissick then.
Dynamic.
He's out.
He's out with an injury as well. It's not looking good. So if
Gibson's questionable.
If Terry can't go, that offense is in trouble. And
Yeah,
Ricky Seals-Jones might see 12 targets or something wild like that.
McKissick will see a ton of targets.
Yeah, he'll definitely see a lot of time. He might even see a lot of time in the slot if all these pass catchers can't go. So
I would play him if McLaurin's out.
I know a lot of people are worried about Antonio Gibson. You're still rolling him out there, right? You just got to temper expectations with that fracture, that hairline fracture in his shin.
Got to hope for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, you're hoping that he busts his, one of his 2 targets for a touchdown like he did the week before.
And maybe, just maybe, with all the receivers banged up, maybe we see McKissick in the slot some. Maybe even Gibson in the slot. And
no, Gibson in the slot. Sorry, I don't.
But maybe both of them.
They won't do that.
Maybe both of them on the field at the same time or something.
I could see
so
that.
Maybe Gibson will get a little more of the pass catching work. But Ricky Seals-Jones, he was pretty much the top waiver wire claim for tight ends this week for the most part, besides Zach Ertz.
It's because he got 9 targets last week.
Yeah, Mike, and
he was on the field literally the whole time.
Yeah, the only person he played less snaps than on of the skill positions was Terry McLaurin. So he pretty much just subbed straight in for the injured Logan Thomas, and he's pretty much Logan Thomas, right? That's how you can feel. I think you just
faster.
Kind of like when Dalvin Cook is out, you just plug in Alexander Madison. I feel with Logan Thomas is out, you just put Ricky Seals-Jones in.
I mean, at this point, yeah, it's volume, but it was 5 receptions for 41 yards. I mean,
but what if it's 5 receptions, 41 yards, and a touchdown this week?
Hey,
it's possible because you're playing the Chiefs, so I like the matchup this week. Yes, Ricky Seals-Jones against the Chiefs.
I'm going to move on, but if you could look up real quick, if you could try to figure out what he was ranked in PPR formats with that 5 for 41. Like, he might have been tight end 8 or tight end 7 last week with those numbers, you know what I mean? Yeah. But while you're looking that up,
I'll get back.
Yeah. Jumping to the next game, the Los Angeles Rams at the New York Giants. Barkley, fortunately, steps on a guy's foot last week and rolls his ankle, so he's out. Low ankle sprain. They've been really vague with it, not really saying how long he's going to be out or a timetable or anything. Galladay, always hurt, and unfortunately he's hurt again, tweaked his knee. He's out as well. Kadarius Toney's questionable as hell with an ankle, but he should be good to go. Starting out with the Rams, how do you feel about Stafford in this matchup, Mike?
Start him. You can't not start him.
Dallas torched the Giants through the air last week.
This defense isn't anything to be worried about. But to get back to you, Ricky Seals-Jones was tight end 14 last week.
Oh, okay. Not as good as I thought. But...
No. See, I told you. It's the touchdowns that get you over the top.
You're starting Darrell Henderson. Sony Michel's his handcuff, obviously.
I think he's worth a flex.
Leagues, you might be able to flex him. You're starting Robert Woods after his monster Thursday night game. I think you can finally feel comfortable with him again.
Temper your expectations, though, because this could be a game where the Rams get up big and just run it out. That's why I'm a big advocate of Sony Michel this week.
Yep. You're starting Cooper Kupp. Ike, you're the resident Higbee owner. How are you feeling about it?
Where
do you have him in your rankings?
11. He's gonna be a tight end 1, but if you have like Ricky Seals-Jones, I'd probably do him over him. Zach Ertz, unfortunately, you would have to play him yesterday, but hopefully you did, because I would have done him over Higbee too.
Zach Ertz pretty much had the same.
He's not getting enough targets for some reason. It's weird. He's only getting like 5 at most. Yep. Very touchdown dependent, like you guys said.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to add to the play at you.
With the Rams, man, no, I mean, Cooper Kupp just I know he's kind of coming down a little bit, but man, he's going to remain the same. So don't feel discouraged.
He wouldn't have gone down a bit if he got tackled at the 1, man. If he gets into the end zone,
exactly.
Again, we're looking at he's got over 20 points again in PPR.
So don't play it cute. You're starting Cooper Kupp. I know Robert Woods.
Who the hell wouldn't?
Well, I mean, there's people out there in 10-team leagues that, I mean, probably have plenty of options to go with.
Okay, jump into the Giants now. I might go on a rant here because I'm a little annoyed with this. We should have talked about it. No, I'm going to go off about Daniel Jones right now.
Yeah.
We should have talked about it in the injury report, but he got a concussion last week, guys. Like, he got popped running into the end zone. He gets up and he's stumbling all over the field and trying to walk back and stuff. Like, you could tell he wasn't there anymore.
His lights were knocked the fuck out.
Yes, he got carted in the back of the locker room. So the NFL says they are trying to get better with the whole concussion stuff. You mean to tell me his brain is okay to participate in football this weekend? You've got to be kidding me. He takes one hit and hits his head on that turf, man. It's going to be lights out again. How on earth is he cleared to play?
I mean, everybody's different, man.
Planet, that was horrible to watch. When he got hit, I'm like, oh, man.
And it was his own fault.
No. It's football. It's football, though, man.
No, I know. But I'm saying what I'm saying is everybody's different with injuries, man. Sure. I mean, you got people that are out for weeks, like Tyrell Williams with a concussion.
Everyone should be. If you're taking precaution like that, man, and you get rocked and you see him stumbling around like that, he's got to be out with more than just 1 week. It's ridiculous. And like as a fantasy analyst, I like Daniel Jones being in the game because it's going to help everyone around him. But it's bullshit, man. Sorry for ranting about it.
It's also bad coaching. I mean,
yeah, it's annoying.
I think it's more on the NFL than
it
coaching.
Is. You say you're so worried about it, and then you trot a guy out who didn't even know his name. You're trotting him out the following week like everything is okay.
Know his name, though. You don't talk to him personally.
I know, man.
That's my only issue is because we're just outsiders on this. I mean, we only know the information that we're given. Yeah,
I guess this discussion's for another time. We can move on. I don't want to start Jones this week if I have him in a super flex.
No.
If there's no guarantee he's going to make it through the game. Like I said, it worries me. But moving on now, I'm going to relax a minute.
Let me talk about the other injuries. I mean, obviously Barkley, he's most likely going to be out. They're going to play it with that ankle, play it safe with the ankle injury. Kenny Galladay, he's going to be out with that hyperextended knee. And this one's kind of hurtful because, I mean, everybody was high on Kadarius Toney after these couple of weeks. I mean, him breaking Odell Beckham's single game record. I know you were looking at that one, Ike. But he's questionable with an ankle too.
He'll be all right.
But Sterling Shepard coming back. We're plugging and playing him. And I think
Hold on a sec.
You don't think Sterling Shepard is a good play?
But Jalen Ramsey is playing that star position, man, and he's been lining up against the slot guy quite often, and he could shut Sterling right the fuck down. That's what I
thought Kadarius lined up in the slot.
That's the problem.
If Sterling's there, it's going to be Sterling.
We haven't seen Sterling and Toney on the field at the same time. And Sterling Shepard pretty much is, when he's thrived, has been in the slot.
Put Toney on the outside because he's got the speed.
Yeah, and he should be a low A-dot guy. You just get that ball in his hands, and he's off. Yeah, he impressed me. But how do you guys feel about Devontae Booker? For anyone that has Saquon, you just plugging him in, and you're like, he's fine.
Yeah, he's a short-term solution because Saquon's going to be back.
He's going to get all the touches out of the backfield.
Especially with all the injuries going on. But we got a question here right now for a start sit. Are we doing Zach Moss this week against the Tennessee
Ravens.
Titans?
Titans.
Tennessee Titans. Or are we going to play Javonte Williams with Melvin Gordon questionable again against the Raiders?
They're both hot, man. Both hot matchups. I think we keep rolling with Zach Moss. Like, is that who you have higher in your rankings? Okay, I think I'm with Ike. I think we roll with Zach Moss still here. Just
He's even getting targets.
He's clearly the guy in the backfield now over Singletary.
Yeah,
It's still a split with Williams and Melvin.
It is still a split. Even it's right down the middle. Passing game, running game. It's a split. At least Zach Moss, he's getting the red zone opportunities.
He's getting all three, but Singletary's still doing some of it.
Yeah, so I think we're going Zach Moss this week. Noah?
I think that pretty much wraps up the game. Do we want to mention Evan Ingram or anything, or is he welcome to the toilet turd or what?
Yeah, I can't remember where I heard it from, but, he's the
If you're
one
in a
guy.
deep league, why not? I mean, he's a top 20 tight end.
Usually, you say you trust the process, not the results. Well, he's the one dude that you trust the results, not the process.
He gets targets, though.
But the results show it's not worth it.
He'll start catching them eventually, maybe.
Maybe.
I just think he's bad. I'm with the plan. I never want to play him.
Some people just don't got it.
No, he got 4 targets last week.
Jump into the next game. Texans at the Colts.
For a tight end, that's surprising.
For all you people who play with a kicker still, Goggles, Rodrigo, he's out this week, guys. Pull him out of your lineup. They activated Michael Badgley.
Calais Campbell and the Baltimore Ravens fucked his psyche.
But Houston Texans, are you guys starting Davis Mills after his 300-plus yard game?
No. Please do not do it.
So
he did it against the Patriots, though, man.
I don't care.
Yeah, no, we're not starting. I said that as a joke. We can make this one short and sweet. It's pretty much Brandon Cooks and then nobody else in this offense. If Brandon Cooks is probably a high-end wide receiver 3, maybe low-end wide receiver 2 in this matchup because the Colts are getting thrown on all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You guys aren't interested in Chris Moore at all? He got 5 targets, caught all 5 of them for 109 yards and a touchdown last week.
I don't think that Davis Mills has a game like that again.
Ever.
Okay. I just wanted to get your opinions on him. Somebody's got to catch the ball, right?
Yep.
Maybe.
Pretty juicy matchup for the Colts here. Carson Wentz. If you have Russell Wilson, were you able? Should you feel comfortable with picking up Carson Wentz to be your starting quarterback this week?
I'm not comfortable with it,
Hopefully
but ultimately have no choice.
I think you can plug him in. You just don't watch that game because you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, I'm not. This could be.
I would never feel safe.
The Colts defense just clamps down. They had a terrible loss last week against the Ravens, giving up that lead. What was it, like 16 points? They were like undefeated, having a 16-point lead at halftime, and they lost that. So I think the defense really is going to want to show what they could do against this terrible Texans.
Their defense is kind of stinky, Mike.
Yeah, but when you run the ball as well as they do, they can control the game.
For the love of God, can they just run it down their throat with Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor, big week, man. Big week for him.
He hasn't had more than he had 17 attempts as his high this season. He's not seeing the volume.
I don't want to hear it.
50.
He's got the most touches in the red zone for a running back. He's just not scoring them.
That's the problem, pal.
He will.
Over the last 3 games,
he says.
Nyheim Hines only has 9 targets and Jonathan Taylor has 8. He is getting involved in the passing game, and that was the whole problem with Taylor. He's finally getting that passing work, so I think it's worth it.
And the touchdowns will come, so he's easily high-end RB2.
You're definitely starting him. I wasn't trying to say anything like that, but
you should be positive. He's finally getting.
I like him a lot in DFS too, by the way. He's cheap.
Sure.
Cheap for running back.
We got a couple questions here if you want to skip to it real quick. We got Wild Prodigy wants to know why he's got flex options this week. Kadarius Toney, AJ Dillon, Sterling Shepard, or Tim Patrick. Pick one for PPR.
Tony.
Shoot for the stars, my guy, and go with Kadarius.
Yeah, it was going to be.
He has a chance to boom more than the rest of those.
Yeah. If you're feeling safe, man, it's probably Tim Patrick.
Yeah, safe routes, Timmy P. Get your use out of him before Judy comes back. They just recently designated him to come back from IR, so it's gonna be soon. And then we got one more from Error Score. Trade Gibson and Sterling for Cordell Patterson and Mike Evans and Jamison Crowder. I'm going to say stay pat. You got the best player in the trade right there with Gibson. I mean, Cordell Patterson.
Cordero won't be able to keep this up the whole time.
He can't keep the scoring production up. And Mike Evans is the same way. He's boomer bust. Jamison Crowder is in a bad offense. I mean, yes, the first week he came back, he seen 9 targets, but this past week was
I'd keep Gibson.
Yeah, I'd keep the Gibson and Sterling trade. Unless you've been hammered with injuries, maybe go for the depth. I understand it, but I'd keep you usually want the best player in the trade, and that would be Gibson.
Right. Let's jump back into the Colts here. The pass catchers in this offense. Michael Pittman Jr. We were kind of just this offseason with it, but he's kind of starting to show out.
He's getting targeted a lot.
27 in the past 3. I mean, he is the number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, T.Y. Hilton is coming back from injury here pretty soon. He practiced this week, so just something to keep an eye on. But
I did see that he should play this week.
Really? Okay. I feel like you're still plugging in Michael Pittman as your wide receiver.
Absolutely.
And feeling cool about it.
I mean, I do kind of like T.Y. Hilton as a DFS late flyer just because he always has career games against Houston. I don't know what it is. He just kills Houston.
Coming off an injury, that's going to be tough.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but he'll
be cheap.
Okay. I feel like we don't need to talk about the tight ends a whole lot. So I think we can move on to the next one. Cincinnati Bengals at the Detroit Lions. On the injury front, Joe Mixon questionable with an ankle. Should be all right.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift has a groin injury. Ike, how's he doing? He's all right. Jamal Williams hip and an illness. Is he all right?
The illness is new, so we'll have to see.
At least it's not COVID. That's what we like to see.
Yeah.
And then Hockenson, a knee. He's questionable. How's he doing?
He should be fine.
Okay. If anybody didn't know, Ike is our resident injury guy over at FantasySixPack.net. He does the injury impact article every week, so check it out. It's
he's our very own Stephania Bell.
Yep.
Just a cheaper version.
He didn't go to medical school or Princeton, but
he does have just as long as Harrison has.
Bingo.
So that's what you get.
Yeah, true.
But jumping to the Bengals, Burrow, Joey Smokes. How do we feel?
I was a little scared after that, minor throat contusion he had after the Packers last week, but he's back to form, at least from what Zach Taylor's saying.
Did you see him get blown up last week? I was watching the game with my dad. I'm like, oh no, when it happened, man. I thought it was his knee when he got hit, but luckily he turned and he got all 5. But I was worried about it. But he got.
I know exactly what play you're talking about now.
I thought he was hurt. He stayed down for a little bit, but he ended up being okay. I think he hit his noodle a little bit on the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was.
Jamar Chase reminded him where he was.
Yeah, we're starting him. Feeling all right.
Yeah. I mean, we're starting Joe Burrow. They're finally starting to throw the ball with this Mixon injury. It kind of hampering. I mean, Mixon still was, like you said, injured all week, so I wouldn't be surprised if they – and then you got Samaje Perine out, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if they chuck it over 30 times this game against the Lions.
Was Mixon a full go in practice all week, though, Ike, or no?
He was a limited participant, if I remember correctly. Okay. And I know that question was for Ike, but Mixon's my play this year.
Yeah, he's been all over him.
You're starting Mixon this week. I know he got in the end zone to kind of save his week last week, but he should be healthier and should be healthier moving forward. So you're still plugging him in your lineup. Just tempering expectations still.
I mean, I think you're good starting T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. I mean, personally, and I'm the big Tyler Boyd truther here, I think we're benching Tyler Boyd this week. It could get blowout potential.
Thank you.
Tyler Boyd is just when it's negative or positive game script for him, it's usually not a good game.
You want to talk about starting Tyler Boyd over Antonio Brown last week? No?
Yeah, it's called being in 20 leagues and you forgot one.
Get better, man.
Agreed.
Get better. Go
I
ahead.
want to know because that's pretty much the whole Bengals side of it. We're not starting CJ's Uzanma, in my opinion, unless you guys are comfortable with it.
No, not today.
No. But I want to know, with Hawkinson banged up, Swift banged up, Jamal Williams banged up with this, illness, and what was it, his hip, I believe?
Swift has been banged up all year.
Doesn't matter. Tyrell Williams is out. Do we like Amon-Ra St. Brown in this juicy matchup against the Bengals?
I think
In a deep league, I would definitely throw a dart throw at him for sure.
You need somebody to be solid for you.
In the past 3 games, he's gotten 17 targets, and he leads the team in receptions.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 games, this is even better. He had 16 targets.
Exactly my point.
13 to 16. Yeah,
I think we could start him as if you're desperate as a flex in deeper leagues, I think it's worth it this week.
Or if you got hit really hard by bye weeks.
And you didn't even mention, Mike, either, that Cephas is down as well.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Touche.
Yeah, Cephas
totally forgot about him.
So, if you're really, really, really needy, I think it's not a bad idea.
Hey, but we do have a couple more questions if you guys are interested. Guy wants to know if you should trade Mixon, Hollywood Brown, and Robert Woods for Nick Chubb, Chris Godwin, and Michael Thomas.
No, sir, don't do that.
No, sir.
You're going to be waiting on Nick Chubb for a little bit. We haven't got to the Browns game, but he tweaked his calf, right?
Yeah, a little inside information before we get there, but yeah, he's injured. He's on IR, if I remember. Or is he just missing the game? He's just missing the game.
IR, but it doesn't sound good, guys. We might be out without Chubb here for a couple weeks, unfortunately.
And Hollywood Brown has been surprisingly good.
He's been really
top
good.
Top 10 receiver this year.
I have no problem with you selling high on Hollywood Brown, but
not for those guys.
Yeah, that's not high enough for me. I'm sorry, no. Yeah, especially Michael Thomas. He doesn't know what you're doing in this offense, and he doesn't even really like the Saints. so he's someone I have no interest in. Next one, Mike.
Next one we got here is Matt. He wants to know if you should trade Dalvin for Stephon Diggs and Clyde Edwards.
Don't like Clyde.
No, man, don't do that.
If you've been hammered by injuries, I could understand going this route with, getting a wide receiver 1 and getting another running back. But
yeah,
you got
depends
the
on
best
who his
player.
Receivers are. He could be getting a wide receiver 1. He's got like 2 other running backs that are really good.
Yeah. I'm not trading Dalvin Cook though.
His other option was for our James Conner.
Or for Diggs.
That doesn't make it that much better of an offer in our opinions. No. But let's get this one really out of the way quick because we already answered it. Pleb, Zach Moss or Javonte Williams PPR? If you were here earlier, you would have heard Zach Moss is the smash play this week.
Take it easy.
I do like Javonte Williams this week, but I'll roll with Zach Moss.
But we can hop back into our preview.
Yeah, jump back to the Lions. I think the only guy we really need. You're still starting Swift. Jamal Williams, flex play. I don't love Jamal Williams in your starting lineup anymore. But if you've been ravaged by running back injuries, I get it. You got to play him. But Hawkinson, guys, knee, and he's been struggling a little bit lately. I know the position sucks, and you probably wasted 4th round draft capital, 5th round draft capital. Are you starting him every week still, even with him struggling?
You probably don't have another option.
Who are we talking
Unless
about?
You got Seals and Hawkinson. Nice.
Yeah, you're starting Hawkinson. I'm sorry, you're starting him.
Over Ricky Seals, Jones?
Yeah.
Okay. Jumping to the next game then. The Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. David Montgomery's out for at least 2 more weeks, I believe, on IR with that knee injury. Allen Robinson, it's actually not sounded great for him, is it, Ike? With that ankle injury. Yeah,
he's a little bit worrisome.
Yeah, he might be out this week, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's not great.
But let's talk about the Packers first. Aaron Rodgers, he's kind of been not great this year, guys. In tough matchup with the Bears.
It's hippie Aaron Rodgers now, man.
How are we feeling about him?
You guys start him, but
I'm starting him. It's the Bears.
Top 10. He's top 10 quarterback still.
I'm trying to see what he is on the season real quick. LaPlante, do you have that pulled up or no?
I can find it for you real quick here. Quarterback. Boom. Aaron Jones. Actually, he's 15. Aaron Rodgers, yeah, 15.
Yeah, he has been great.
It's because that first week where he was brutal. I mean, he's still every week should be a top 10 quarterback.
We know this with Aaron Rodgers. He's not a yardage guy. He's a touchdown guy. And they haven't – I mean, the touchdowns haven't been there this year. That's simple as that.
You're starting Aaron Jones. Temper expectations a little bit. Bears' run defense is pretty solid, but could see work in the passing game. What do we think about A.J. Dillon, though? He saw some work last week, if I'm not mistaken. Saw the most that he's seen. How do we feel about that? Is he going to start vulturing touches from Aaron Jones like Jamal Williams did?
I only see this because Aaron Jones has been questionable. I mean, A.J. Dillon hardly hasn't shown.
Well, A.J. Dillon's been looking good, so they're going to want to get him the ball a little bit at least.
I mean, they played the Bengals.
Bengals defense has been fine.
It's improved.
And they were in a battle that whole game.
I will admit improved, but I mean. And
they were literally in a battle that whole game.
Yeah, because of missed field goals, not because of the running backs.
4 for 7, Mason.
The worst final 2 minutes. I felt bad for both teams, both fan bases, both kickers.
If you're ravaged by injuries, you could start Dillon, and hopefully you get him fall into the end zone.
Yeah, he's a body, but I mean, if you have another option, like I'm choosing, like who would you rather have, Jamal Williams or A.J. Dillon? Jamal.
I don't know the answer.
I think I'd rather have Jamal.
Just because his role is clearly defined.
Yeah. Talking about pass catchers now. Devontae Adams, obviously, best in football. Don't even at me with that.
He's on pace for over 200 targets, man. He's exactly what you drafted.
What else are we doing with any of these other pass catchers? Bob Tonyan, to me, is welcome to the toilet turd. He's gone.
He was in my bust article at the very start of the year, and he's proven me right. Because he was so dependent on touchdowns last year.
I mean, like most, tight ends on the back end of the list, he only had 56 receptions. He only had 56 receptions.
I know, but Jesus.
And when you have 10 touchdowns on 56 receptions, that's a 20%, damn near 20% touchdown rate. It's just that's hard to repeat. As
a Bears fan, I still have nightmares about Randall Cobb. So I'm a little worried about Randall Cobb this week.
We don't have Chris Conte anymore, man. It's okay.
But we got Duke Shelley. I don't think that's next year.
I think you can start Randall Cobb this week against
in the flex. Yeah, I think you can too if you're in big trouble.
He
worries me.
That's why I'm not high on A.J. Dillon this week. The Bears' run defense is good. You know this. I mean, it's going to be a tough one for Aaron Jones as well. The only thing that's going to make
a tough one for Aaron too. Hopefully, Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn are making an Aaron sandwich.
But yeah, I mean, we can't stop. We can't start Tonyan comfortably unless you're desperate, like me in a couple leagues. But
God damn, man, the Blackhawks lost again.
Are you kidding me?
They suck.
At least they got a point for overtime last night.
Yeah, but jumping to the Bears now. Justin Fields, guys, he's not running enough. He doesn't have that rushing floor that we thought he was going to. So, unfortunately, he's not someone you can play right now, even in this pretty good matchup against the Packers.
Agreed.
You guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah, there's other options out there.
Okay. And then no David Montgomery, no Damian Williams now because of COVID. We probably should have talked about that injury guy. Khalil Herbert.
Technically, it's not an injury.
Yeah,
technically, he's not playing.
Khalil Herbert. Plug him in RB2.
Yeah, low end RB2 flex.
He saw 18 carries last week with David.
He's gonna get some of the.
He's not gonna get any of the pass catching volume though.
He's gonna get some.
Ryan Nall, man. It's Ryan Nall.
He's not a pass catching.
I shit you not. That's what I saw. I shit you not.
I can't take you serious.
Just be ready. Be ready. It's Ryan Nall season.
All right, man. Khalil Herbert, you can start him, I think, if you're ravaged by injuries and you're a David Montgomery owner. You feel okay. Hopefully he gets you 7 to 12 points or so.
Can we who do we trust the rest of the season more? Darnell Mooney or Allen Robinson?
Allen Robinson, don't be silly.
Don't
even think about it.
Now that Justin Fields is the starter, man, I mean,
Go ahead, give me your spiel about your stats. Like, I'll let you have.
He's
the floor
got
here
a
for minute.
30 or what was it? Yeah, 33 or 35% red zone target share. Way higher than any other Bear receiver.
and how often do they go to
He
the red
just
zone?
needs to catch the ball in the red zone.
How often do they go to the
You
red
guys
zone?
would be talking about him completely different if he caught that touchdown in the first or second week or whatever.
I mean, the reason I loved Allen Robinson preseason is because he's the volume king. We thought he was going to get all the volume. Now that Darnell Mooney has, emerged on the scene, last 3 games, you know who has more targets? Darnell Mooney.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, he's getting more air yards. I mean, that was A-Rob's gig, is he got the targets and the air yards. I mean, granted, it was by Andy Dalton
He's
or
still getting
Nick
there.
Foles, and they were terrible air yards and terrible volume. Now you got a good quarterback that can throw it deep to a guy that's running deep.
I just can't believe you're entertaining this idea.
And played in the 5th.
Dylan doesn't want to get yelled at. Move on.
If Allen Robinson doesn't play this week, you're starting Mooney, no doubt. If
Absolutely.
Robinson's out.
But I think you're good to start Mooney the rest of the year, in my opinion.
No.
At least as a flex,
No, I don't.
with Justin Fields as the starter.
He's probably like, where do you have Mooney in your rankings? 35, probably borderline. Probably borderline wide receiver 3.
Like I said, flex play.
Yeah, but there's just not enough volume, guys.
Jair's. I was just going.
You're the volume king, man, and there's just not enough volume in this offense. Fields throwing the ball 22 times, and they're going to try to stick out with the run to protect him.
They're going to try.
There's just not enough volume in this offense.
Mooney 42.
You don't.
That's probably a little
think
low.
that the Bears are going to fall behind in this game?
Right now I have it because Allen Robinson I feel like is playing. But if he's out, obviously Mooney's going way up.
I don't know if they're going to fall behind. I don't think the Bears are going to win this game. But I think it's going to be close with it being a divisional game and how slow the Bears offense is. And don't act like the Packers can stop the run. And don't act like they can stop the pass right now without Jair Alexander or Kevin King or any.
No, I was saying that. I mean, I'm not saying this is going to be.
That Stokes dude isn't bad.
I think this could be a shootout. I mean, as well as I do, the Packers can't stop running quarterbacks.
I just think the Bears are just going to move too slow for it to be a shootout. I'm thinking like 21-17 Packers or something along those lines. I can't imagine the over-under is very high.
The Packers play pretty slow too, so.
Yeah. But, jump into the next game. We're running a little long. We still got quite a bit to go.
Yeah.
Packer and Bear fans, and this is a good matchup.
Los Angeles Chargers at Baltimore Ravens. Pretty sexy game. Saying that for a lot of these, but injuries. Mike Williams, questionable with a knee. Ike, how's he looking?
He'll be fine.
Okay.
I hope he can catch another 70-yard touchdown.
Sammy Watkins out with a thigh. What's wrong with this thigh, Ike?
It hurts.
Charlie horse or what?
That was funny. It hurts, man.
It hurts, man.
Something to keep an eye on. The Ravens activated Rashad Bateman off.
Do not start him.
But don't start him.
If he's on the waiver wire, guys, and you're ravaged by injuries, I mean, he's absolutely worth a stash and grab.
Yep.
Sure.
Starting with the Chargers, you're starting Herbert, starting our man crush, Austin Eckler, that little sexy bowling ball. You're starting Mike Williams, you're starting Keenan Allen. The tight ends, Donald Parham and Jared Cook. Who do you guys like rest of the season?
Cook.
I mean, that's a dumb question, Cook.
Why is it a dumb question?
I think Parm was just a 1 week.
Don't you ever
How often do you see the Chargers dropping 42 points?
Their offense
It's gonna happen a lot.
He's caught touchdowns back-to-back weeks, pal. So settle down and tell me my question's stupid.
It is. I'll even show you. Let's look at this. Jared Cook, the past 3 games. Donald Parham, the past 3 games. One has 13 targets and 9 receptions. One has 6 targets and 5 receptions. Can you tell me which is which?
Can you tell me who has more touchdowns?
Donald Parham.
Thank you.
Are you happy that his only 2 touchdowns of the year came in the past 3 weeks?
I don't like him. I don't like either of them.
Nope.
But I think that pretty much covers it. Justin Herbert's fantastic too. Just want to throw
I
that.
know he's got such a sexy throw.
Yeah, sexy is the word of the day. Apparently, are going around this podcast.
Such a tight spiral.
Easy.
What? It is. It's a tight spiral.
Jumping to the Baltimore Ravens now. You're starting Lamar. Guys, this backfield, what do we do?
Nothing. Don't start
You
anyone.
can't see it, but there's a panic button in front of me, and I'm pressing it.
I said not to
Latavius
panic.
Murray, man.
I said not to panic.
I mean, it's Lamar Jackson, man. I've seen
Real
it.
life at
He has
stake.
1,860 yards just by himself on this offense through 5 weeks.
I thought you were going to call him a running back, and I was going to punch you.
I mean, at this point, he's doing everything for the team.
Only
He's
thing he's
passing
not
the
doing
ball.
is
He's
catching
running
the
the ball. Exactly. Which I'm sure he could, if he wanted
They should
to,
try it.
Marcus
It'd be
Mariota
cool.
and catch the
I
ball.
don't know why they haven't tried it yet.
Have Marquise Brown throw him it.
Yeah, sweet. Have him catch the deep ball. That'd be sweet.
No, I'm not comfortable with any player in this backfield. I mean, it's just too muddied up, man. You don't know who's going to get the touchdown. You don't know who's going to get the work.
agree.
And the best running back doesn't even get the most touches. He gets the least amount, actually. So
No, the best running back's throwing the ball.
I'm Hollywood stud right now. You're rolling with him.
Mark Andrews coming off a career game, 2 touchdowns. I mean, I don't have it offhand right here, but
I want to
man,
say it's 30-something fantasy points.
And
too.
it was
Double-digit
stupid.
targets. Yeah, it was awesome. Somebody dropped Mark Andrews in one of my leagues a couple weeks ago for $2.
Why?
And I was able to scoop him up, and that might
Who
be
are you
13
playing with?
targets, 11 receptions, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, all career highs for him.
Play with some competition or something.
Settle down, pal. Gemma. But hold on, what were we talking about?
Wide receivers. I mean, with Sammy out, Rashard Bateman is coming back this week. It does have shootout potential.
It's going to be a Hollywood and Mark Andrews game for me. Those are
No Rashard Bateman coming off this injury just
I
yet.
wouldn't trust it enough to start him.
not this week.
Wait another week.
But jumping to the next one,
Couple probably.
Minnesota Vikings at the Carolina Panthers. Injury, C-Mac, we already talked about it, goes back on IR after the hamstring setback. Terrible, terrible news, guys. Just terrible. But go to
Good
the
news.
But at least he's on the
Whatever.
IR. At least he's on the IR now. though.
Go into
He
the
can-
Vikings. Kirk Cousins, he's been okay for the most of the season. How do you guys feel about him in this matchup? I'm out.
I'm also out because
Yeah.
the Panthers' pass rush is pretty solid.
Yeah, the Panthers.
And Vikings line isn't great.
And they got Stephon Gilmore finally in the game this week.
I'm
He's
intrigued
fine.
about that.
There you go.
Oh, he's in trouble.
The next one, Delvin Cook. He's not even on the injury report anymore, right?
Nope, he should be good to go.
And obviously, you're starting him.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You're starting Justin Jefferson. Adam Thielen. He's not getting the targets, guys, and he had a goose egg with about 50 seconds left to go in the game last week. I don't know if you guys saw that. And then the last drive where they went down and got field goal range, he finally caught 2 passes for, I think, 30-something yards, so ended up having 5 fantasy points or some shit in PPR formats. If he's not scoring a touchdown, he's kind of useless right now.
No,
Fantasy.
he's touchdown or bust.
And that's kind of what we thought going into the season anyways, because
Mhm.
he had double-digit touchdowns last year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So and
Like,
he's obviously
like
older.
12 or something.
Yeah, it might have
stupid.
even been 14 or something silly like that.
But no, I with Dalvin Cook finally back in it, I think that's the key for Adam Thielen. I mean, when Dalvin Cook's been out of the game, Adam Thielen's not receiving very many targets. I think Dalvin Cook is the key to him scoring touchdowns, as dumb as that sounds.
No, I think it's just Justin Jefferson now. He's getting
Well, I mean,
more red zone targets, if I'm not mistaken, or starting to.
He's the dude. He's the dude for sure.
Dude.
You're not starting Tyler Conklin. Sorry, we talked about that on the Sunday Social that you could. Unfortunately, he's just not
Agreed.
not seeing enough. Not seeing enough volume. But jumping over to the Panthers, Sam Darnold started out hot. He was leading the league in rushing touchdowns, which was weird. But I think he's going back to benches now.
Yeah.
With CMC having that setback again. And Darnold was really good with CMC on the field. And it's a little – he obviously loses some with him off. Are you guys out on him like I am this week?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not. It was one bad week. I mean, I want to ask this of you guys. I mean, a lot of people having this Russell Wilson injury. You got to pick between Sam Darnold or Carson Wentz. I'm letting Sam Darnold.
I think it's Carson Wentz.
Really? You trust Carson Wentz?
You might laugh.
Is there another option?
No, because those are about the two. I mean, if anything, Sam Darnold's probably dropped this week.
I'll give you another option. Like, what about Ben Roethlisberger against Seattle?
I'd rather go with Geno Smith.
Don't be stupid. That's a juicy matchup for Roethlisberger. It probably his last Sunday night football game ever.
I don't ever trust starting Ben anymore. You couldn't pay me to do it.
But Chuba Hubbard, plugging and playing him.
Yep.
Hoping for the best. He's fine.
Yeah, touche on all you running back haters that like to draft their backups just in case of injuries.
DJ Moore, you're starting him. He had a down week last week, but should be good to go. He'll be
still a wide receiver one.
He'll be fine. Robbie Anderson, guys, put the turd in the toilet.
Yeah, stop.
You don't
stop
start
starting him, man,
and just feel like dropping him if you want. I don't have.
Yeah.
I don't think. No, you can't drop him.
What do you mean you can't drop him, Mike?
Marshall is literally running as many routes as him, just not getting the targets yet. As soon as that happens, which will happen this year, I'm assuming, it's just get it over with now. Try and trade him if you can.
Who would you rather have? I don't get, but that hasn't shown shit all season. Who would you rather have?
He is not playing well.
We are talking about just rostering him. I would rather have Robbie Anderson on my roster than
Mike? Robbie Anderson probably hasn't seen as many targets as Amon-Ra has in 2 games and 4 games. I know he had 8 the 1 week or whatever, but everything
11
that has been.
But only caught like 5 of them.
In the past 3 games, Robbie Anderson has 20 targets compared to Terrence Marshall's 11.
How many catches?
8. Yes, he has a bad. It's still leading over Terrence Marshall. He has more yards than Terrence
20
Marshall.
targets, 8 catches.
He's still – that's volume.
But he can't catch the ball anymore.
Welcome
he
to
lost it. He lost it. Some people lose it.
Toilet turd. He's gone.
He's not drop worthy. That's all I'm saying.
100% drop worthy.
You're in a 10-team league, yeah.
Jump into the next game: Arizona Cardinals against the Cleveland Browns.
Wait, before we jump in, though, how about we answer a couple questions? Bobby Schmurder wants to bench one. PPR: Deontay, Jefferson, McLaurin, or Tyreek. First of all, we love your drafting. That's awesome.
Fortunately, it's probably McLaurin, man, because
that's what I'd say.
He could tweak that hamstring and be done.
You can't risk that.
Deontay's got a juicy matchup against Seattle, so McLaurin.
Jefferson's money as usual.
One more. Con Wayon wants to know: should I trade AJ Brown and Aaron Jones for James Robinson and Jamar Chase?
I think it's a thinker.
That is a thinker. I'll give you that. Jamar Chase.
Aaron Jones will finish higher than Robinson, and AJ Brown's going to figure it out.
I don't know if I agree. I'm going to go the other way. I think he pulled.
No.
Why?
Jamar Chase has to deal with T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon to deal with. And all AJ Brown has to deal with is a washed-up Julio Jones. And King Henry, but...
do you not care about production when it's right in your face? Or are you just going out on a whim hoping to see something like you are?
Aaron Jones beats James Robinson out of the water.
I bet you James Robinson...
receiver 8 right now. You know that, Ike?
That's fine.
I bet
you're telling me AJ Brown's going to stay as wide receiver 40 or whatever he is?
He's going to get better, but you think Jamar Chase is going to fall off?
Yeah.
Why?
T. Higgins is finally coming back healthy. He's going to get a lot of the targets. He's already getting a 25% target share.
Chase is I disagree with you there, man.
He's getting all of his points off touchdowns.
No, he isn't actually. He's got
How many touchdowns do you have? 6?
5, and he also has 456 yards.
Yeah.
Okay, take away about 2 of those touchdowns because he probably shouldn't have that many right
The
now.
problem
I mean,
is
he's
you
got the same
can't
as Cooper
take away.
Kupp.
That's the problem is you can't take away touchdowns. So like, and I bet you James Robinson has outscored Aaron Jones at least the last 2 out of the 3 weeks, somewhere around there. I don't think. I mean, Aaron Jones is solid. I think he's
Aaron
been
Jones
fine.
is running back 9. James Robinson is running back 11.
And that was with Robinson being tied with.
And they have a
Carlos Hyde the first week.
4-point discrepancy in PPR formats.
That's what Aaron Jones losing time to A.J. Dillon. So
Who's James Robinson losing time to? Nobody anymore.
He's just not as good.
I'm not going to disagree with you there, but he's going to get more volume.
You guys are crazy.
I think it's a thinker.
I think it's a thinker too. I think you pull the trigger, man.
I think you guys are way too high on Jamar Chase.
I'm just gonna go with production and not just guessing with stuff. To be honest.
All right, so I'm with.
So you're thinking Jamar Chase is gonna keep up that touchdown pace?
No, but he's still. You act like he's Mike Evans though. Like he's catching 2 targets for 2 touchdowns. That's not what's happening.
He's also doing this without T. Higgins there for the past 2. Well, T. Higgins was there last week, but 2 and 3 weeks ago. 2 and 3 weeks ago, he was gone.
Chase is the number 1 receiver in that offense, man. It's as
Keep
simple
saying
as
that. Keep thinking that.
He was when Higgins was on the field.
It's a 3-headed monster, guys. Jamar Chase leads it with 24 targets in the past 3 games. T. Higgins has 22 in the past 3 games, and same with Tyler Boyd, 22. They're all about the same. It's just Jamar Chase is getting the touchdowns this year.
Last played probably.
Oh,
I'm assuming.
Jamar Chase is just killing it right now. You can't deny the production.
I know, but it's all touchdowns. It's a lot of touchdowns.
It's not. I was going to say it's not all touchdowns. I mean, in the last 3 games, Jamar Chase has double the amount of yards than T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd.
It's not just touchdowns.
T. Higgins has played 1 game the past 3 games.
But you're saying it's all touchdowns.
He didn't get 22 targets in 1 game the past 3 games.
We got to move on, guys. We got to move on. We're running entirely too late.
We got one more question. Start Hollywood or Tony? Hollywood.
Yeah, start Hollywood.
Hollywood. Let's go back to this Arizona Cardinals Cleveland Browns game before I see this blood vessel pop out of Dylan's head anymore.
Chase Edmonds' shoulder is questionable. Is he good to go?
Should be.
I'm assuming he's fine. He was having a shoulder problem last week, and he was able to tough it out and play through it. Nick Chubb is out with the calf, like we talked about. AJ Green is questionable. How's he doing?
He's going to play.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I know Kareem Hunt was on the injury report with something too.
He's fine.
He'll be fine. Baker Mayfield, guys. For some reason, you're rostering him in 1 quarterback leagues. Don't anymore. You could throw him away as well. And if Superflex, probably throw him on your bench too. Kareem Hunt, running back 1 now, especially with Nick Chubb out. A running back, a RB1, not the RB1, but he's been great. It's just going to be better. Odell, what do we do with him? Is he droppable yet or not yet?
Not yet. Let's hope he gets traded. There's something not going good with him and Baker. They just don't got it together.
Yeah, Baker hasn't been good either.
Because if you look, Odell's been open for at least some of his routes.
Yeah.
It's just not a very pass-friendly team. I mean, in the past games,
Baker's not hitting him. He's just missing him a lot. It's weird.
No, and it's a terrible catch percentage. Only 47.4% catch percentage in the past 3 games for Odell. Like, they're just not on the same page.
Yeah.
And Juice Landry's back this week, right? They activated him off IR.
Yeah.
So you don't want to start either of them yet. But David Njoku blowing up last week. How do we feel about him with the way tight ends are?
I mean, he caught all 9 of his targets. He had
who knows, man?
6 yards, 1 touchdown. But you got to look at Austin Hooper too. Austin Hooper had 8 targets as well.
And they probably won't see that many targets again, especially with Landry coming back.
I mean, you might see it with Nick Chubb.
They probably won't be in that high scoring of a game.
No, Cleveland Browns are never in that high scoring of a game usually.
No, that was weird for them.
But jumping over to the Cardinals now, you're starting Kyler. Running backs, Chase Edmonds, or you guys want James Conner?
I think I'm gonna
Chase.
want Chase Edmonds in this one. It could be a shootout ish. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be as high scoring as last week, but Cardinals are gonna score on the Browns.
And Connor's touchdown dependent, unlike Jamar Chase.
You're so stupid.
Wide receivers in the Cardinals offense. Hopkins, you're starting him even though he's kind of been I want to. Who do you start? AJ Green, Rondell Moore, Christian Kirk. Who are you starting?
In this one, I'm thinking I'm going to go with Christian Kirk. The secondary for the Browns, they're not great, but they're fast. They're going to be able to lock down AJ Green. Rondell Moore, I mean, he's the weapon guy. We've said it before. So I think I'm leaning Kirk this week.
Mike, what do you think?
Do I have to choose one of them?
Absolutely.
I'll say AJ Green.
Okay. I'm not talking about the tight ends. We'll talk about tight ends and Zach Ertz next week with the Cardinals. So jumping to the next one, the Las Vegas Raiders, Denver Broncos. Guys, I don't want to talk about the Gruden stuff. I think we could just
I was
skip
hoping
it.
we didn't.
Yeah, Joe and Mike talked about it on the Fantasy Six-Pack Hour. So if you guys want to hear the scoop on that, just go back and check that out at the Fantasy Six-Pack YouTube channel. I don't feel like getting into it. No, he's kind of a scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries, Melvin Gordon, questionable with the hip injury. He's kind of been battling that the last couple of weeks. Like, he's fine.
You definitely have to wait and see it for Sunday for sure.
He's banged up for sure.
That's not good for my Scott Fishbowl team. I'm so banged up right now. It's not even funny. No CEH.
My quarterbacks are, dude.
I got no CEH, no Chris Carson now. It's not looking good for my Scott Fish. But jumping into the Raiders offense, Derek Carr had a smoking hot start. He's the NFL passing leader for the first 3 or 4 weeks. But he
was MVP. Literally, people are like, "Hey, you might be an MVP." No.
Hey. No, there he is again. There's that man. But especially in this matchup against Denver, you're not starting him unless you have to in a super flex or something.
You better not have to start him.
But Josh Jacobs back and healthy, LaPlante. How do you feel about him in this matchup?
Not great. I mean, they could be up, but Josh Jacobs, they still don't involve him in the damn passing game. Hopefully this changes now that Gruden's finally out.
I am intrigued on the offense now.
But they can't just switch it up, though, guys. Not this week. They're not going to. Not just gonna. Hey, fuck it. Gruden's gone. He was our play caller. Let's just change the whole fucking thing. Learn
why not, bro, dude? You got nothing to lose.
They do. They're 3-2. It's not like they're 0-5 or something.
They would be literally the embodiment of Vegas. Then just fuck it.
I love it.
At this point, I'm thinking Josh Jacobs is just touchdown dependent.
No.
Yeah,
you still got Rome out there as RB2.
Yeah, he's a mid-tier RB2 with the injuries, man.
I was gonna say, but in the past 3 games, he's only averaging like 3.2 yards an attempt.
Coming back from injury,
you'll see that a lot from Jacobs.
Like, no. But the pass catchers in this: Hunter Renfrow, Henry Ruggs. Do we finally get to see Henry Ruggs used right? Maybe. No.
You said the offense isn't changing, so unlikely.
Okay. And I got sources plugged in there. Well, anything to add to the plan or no?
I am intrigued on Henry Ruggs to see if he does get involved a little bit more. I mean, teams have been blanket coveraging Darren Waller, and so they can't just hyper target him. So they got to throw it to somebody else in this offense. Yes, Hunter Renfrow is getting the targets, but he's not going to be able to bust one like Henry Ruggs can.
You start Renfrow on your flex, but it's a guy who's going to get you 8 to 10 points and 5 catches for 50 yards, something like that. But I don't enjoy it. Are you panicking on Waller, LaPlante?
No, I'm not panicking on him. It's just this offense needs to get a second threat.
How do you feel as a Waller owner, though? Because you probably wasted a second-round pick on him for the most part. I shouldn't say wasted. I'm sorry. You used the second-round pick on him, but he's just kind of been meh.
I mean, he's still top 6 in targets in the past 3 games. That's what you like out of these.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got 22.
He's just not catching them that much, is he?
Tied with Kyle Pitts, man. I mean,
Kyle Pitts?
Are you talking about tight ends or total?
Tight ends.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's not as good as I thought.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Tight ends here.
I know, but
supposed to compare him to a wide receiver?
Yeah,
if Pitts is out targeting him or same as him, that's a little worrisome.
To be honest with you, I was what kind of wanted you to compare to him to a wide receiver because you took him in the second
where
round.
a wide receiver could be.
You took it for the positional advantage of a tight end that was going to be involved in the offense like a wide receiver.
Right, Mike, but he's not giving you the positional advantage. That's what I'm trying to say lately. That's why I'm asking you if you're panicking on him. Like last week, he had 10 points, right? That's fine.
Yeah, but he's getting the targets. That's what we like. Okay. I mean,
I'm not freaking out about him. It's just kind of you probably got to feel pretty
in
about
him. In the past 3 weeks, he's seen as many targets as.
Stop telling me targets, man.
I'm telling you targets because that's volume, man. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Hunter Renfrow, DeAndre Hopkins, Metcalf, Marquise Brown.
If only you
How
got
about those weird names.
If only you got fantasy points for targets, you'd be great.
But
jumping into the Broncos, Teddy Bridgewater, 2 QB leagues. You're not starting him this week, guys, in 1 quarterback leagues. We kind of already talked about Javonte Williams in our questions earlier. He's good. The way running backs are, you probably have to start him.
If Melvin Gordon isn't playing, you better be playing Javonte.
Yeah, smash play Javonte.
Mm-hmm. Wide receivers, like we said, Judy was activated off IR. I don't think he's playing, right?
No.
Okay. Tim Pasher, Cortland Sutton. How do you guys feel about them? Both these guys,
I like Cortland.
3s and flex plays?
Yeah, I this week they are. But once Jerry Judy comes back, I think Tim Patrick's going to go back to that week by week flex play.
Yep.
How about Noah Fant?
I like Noah Fant. I mean, he's getting.
I like him. I think he'll be. But once Judy comes back, it might be a little rough.
Yes, agreed. Jumping to the next game, Dallas Cowboys at New England Patriots. Injuries here is pretty much just Zeke. He's banged up from landing on the pylon last week.
Yeah.
Dak, you're starting him. Zeke, you're starting him. How do you feel about Tony Pollard lately, LaPlante?
I love Tony Pollard. He's getting involved a lot more than I ever thought he would. Let me have it right here. I mean,
he's like running back top 30.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually top 10 in the NFL in rushing yards. You know that?
I saw that the other day.
He's seen double-digit attempts his last 4 games, which is pretty crazy.
I mean, yeah, in the last 3 games, he has 35 attempts and 5 targets. It's kind of he's
about 10 a game. I don't know. He might be out targeting Zeke too. I
think this offense is just good enough to be able to support 2 running backs.
Yeah. What are we doing with the wide receiver cores, though? CD's been a disappointment. Amari Cooper's been a disappointment besides the 2 boom games he's had, and we're going into week 6, and he's only had 2 good games. It's kind of the Dalton Schultz show right now, guys, believe it or not, which is super weird to think about. But I want to say he leads the team in targets the last 2 or 3 games. How do we feel about Amari Cooper and CD, Ike?
You still got to start him, but you got to be worried a little bit. But I feel like CD Lamb will figure it out. Obviously, Amari Cooper too, but they'll have their weeks where they'll get you 6 points probably.
They got to stop kicking the shit out of everybody is the problem.
Their defense needs to stop being good.
Yeah, they got to stop kicking the shit out of everybody for fantasy purposes.
I mean, they haven't been playing the best offenses. They played the Giants last week.
The mighty Giants. Yeah. But yeah, Dalton Schultz is an every week starter at the tight end position, guys, and don't even think twice about it.
He's putting up some insanely high, efficiency numbers that will go down more than likely, but he's still going to be a tight end 1 for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Tight end 1 that you traded away.
Guys,
he's now got a bummed ankle.
He's a free agent this coming year. He might get paid this offseason.
Yeah,
and to think people thought Blake Jarwin was the guy.
They paid him. That goes back to the Robbie Anderson contract. They paid Blake Jarwin, man, and they don't use him to plant.
They didn't pay him nearly as much as Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson's not as much as you think, though.
But jumping to the New England Patriots.
What was it, 14? 11, 14?
A year?
11 maybe. I don't know.
That's a lot of year.
Mac and cheese.
Not
Mac
really.
Jones has been up and down.
I think you can't start Mac Jones. I mean,
I
there's
never
just
would.
not enough volume, and it's so
And-
deep. Go ahead.
And the only pass catcher you want to start in this offense is probably Hunter Henry. And it's not – you still not really –
Jacoby Myers isn't a bad option.
Yeah, he's okay as well, too. Seeing the –
For flex.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
this
agree
week.
with you.
There's this week especially because they're playing the Cowboys. They're going to be down.
The big thing I want to talk to you guys about, though, is the backfield. Brandon Bolden, pass catcher. Damian Harris, goal line back, and kind of just the bell cow back, supposedly, but he can't hang out of that goddamn football. Cost him a game earlier in the season, week 1 with a fumble. Last week, tried to stretch a ball over the goal line for a touchdown, fumbled again. And now he's battling a rib injury. He should be good to go, but is he going to be limited in carries with that rib injury? And we might see Ramondre Stevenson a lot. And I know the coaches like Stevenson.
You might see Stevenson actually a little bit.
I mean, Stevenson
Hopefully. I want
might
to.
be out of the doghouse finally.
He actually might be better than Damian Harris.
But you can't remember what he was in the doghouse for.
He fumbled.
Fumbled the ball. I mean, so it very easily could go back to Damian Harris's way if Ramondre can't hold on to the ball either.
Do we want to start any of these guys? With,
I mean, the only one personally that
I don't. Well, I have to start Damian Harris in a couple leagues just because.
Yeah, I
in
think
our
most
league,
people
start
have to
Brandon
start-
Bolden.
most people have to start Damian Harris, but I think in a matchup like this where they're going to be down most of the time, it's going to be Brandon Bolden is probably going to have more upside.
Yeah, it's just not good, guys. Not good. Let's try to run through these last 2 games pretty quickly. This one we don't really have to talk about a whole lot. Sunday Night Football. Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Chris Carson, guys, this one hurts my insides. He's out with the neck injury.
I don't think he's going to play again.
He got
this
placed on IR. It's a sucky situation. Russ Mann obviously out with a finger injury. It's the Geno Smith show. Make it quick and easy. You're not starting him. If you're a Chris Carson owner, you might be handcuffed into starting Alex Collins. It's just a tough matchup. So kind of like what we saw with him having 8 points against the Rams. Maybe you see that again. Do you guys agree with that? I probably wouldn't expect much more.
It's going to get volume, but it's not going to be great volume, especially now that Russell Wilson's out.
Agreed. But I want to talk to you guys mostly about the wide receivers here because Gerald Everett's kind of irrelevant right now. I know we kind of liked him coming in, but Tyler Lockett and DK. I know DK and Smith looked like somewhat of a good connection last week. DK caught the touchdown once Geno came in and stuff. Who are you worried about more, Lockett or DK, Ike?
Lockett.
Is
it strictly off of what happened last week? That's all I can base it off of.
Okay, LaPlante, what do you think?
I like DK.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think we're all on the same page here. I think, LaPlante, I want to say you talked about it a little bit on Joe's podcast. Lockett's more of the deep ball guy.
Yep.
And Russell's
Which is weird.
And Russell's
Lockett's the one that
guy.
has that connection like Aaron Rodgers has with Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's the reason what gives him that value, because he just knows where he's going to be whenever he's going to be.
Right.
He doesn't have that with Geno Smith.
That's why you see some of the ridiculous catches in the back of the corner of the end zone and stuff that Lockett catches with Russ. I agree. Lockett was in my sit column this week. I don't necessarily want to sit him if you don't have a better option, but he could be the guy that gets hurt most in this offense.
No, that's Chris Carson.
He's hurt.
He ain't playing again.
Was that
You
some
missed the
kind
joke.
of? That was some kind of sick pun, you sick bastard. Oh, man.
Gross.
But jumping to the Steelers, I talked about it. You can start Ben this week, guys. I don't recommend him ever, except for right now. His last Sunday night game, probably ever. I think they didn't flex this game because of that reason. That they think that this is his last one ever. I think he's going to have a good week against this really, really, really bad Seattle defense.
Jamal Adams can't cover anybody.
LaPlante, can you jump on the Big Ben train with me or no?
No,
Come on, ride a train.
I'm going to leave that all to you.
Yes.
And if people come back to us and they're upset that you recommended Big Ben this week against the Seahawks, you're going to be the one to deal with that one.
Come at me. in our Dynasty Gods League, our Superflex League, where I'm 5-0. Just want to throw that out there. I lost Russ, man, and have to start Ben.
I mean, that's different. Yeah, if you're losing Russ, I can see that. I can see why. But I mean, there's plenty of other options. You don't want to go into a matchup with Big Ben. They drafted a running back to make it a more balanced offense. They have a defense that they want to slow the game down with and then control it with the run game. I just can't get behind Big Ben.
I get it. Najee Harris, you're starting him. Sees a shit ton of targets, and he's good. He's good.
He's really good.
Me up.
Yeah,
I'm glad he did.
Mike and I were down on Swift. We got that one wrong. Ike, you were down on Najee. You got that one wrong.
It's just you were more wrong.
Easy.
Bullshit. You guys said Swift was.
I was rough on Swift this offseason.
I just didn't want to where he was getting drafted. That's all.
The pass catchers I want to talk to you about again. Juju, he's out with the shoulder injury. Deontay Johnson, he sees a ton of targets. Ike, you're the resident hater of Chase Claypool.
Oh my God, I'm not a hater.
LaPlante,
I think he'll be fine, but the Steelers could easily win this game by a lot.
is he an automatic start in your eyes moving forward too?
Well, I mean, did you know in the last 3 games, Claypool has led this team in targets?
Yeah, I did actually. Yep.
Isn't Deontay been out for one of those games, or at least half a game?
I mean, that's his shtick.
What about James Washington?
He had 11 targets in the past 3 games, but I mean,
you probably leave him on the waiver wire.
Yeah, he's gonna be a boomer bust guy. I mean,
but I think who do you have higher in your rankings? I'm assuming Deontay over Claypool. Is it pretty close?
Yeah.
I think they were probably both.
Claypool, I'm pretty sure is top 20.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
Sure.
Both are definitely top 20.
Not doing anything tight end wise for the Steelers, even though Pat Freiermuth, he's cool. But Monday Night Football, Buffalo Bills at Tennessee Titans. We don't have anyone on the injury report here from injury guy Ike.
Julio's back. So
Julio is back. AJ Brown is back. I know he played last week, but he was limited. Should be good to go 100% this week, hopefully. You're starting Josh Allen. We already told you earlier you're starting Zach Moss, right?
Yep.
Are we panicking on Stephon Diggs, Ike?
No.
Struggling.
This is his week, man. This is his week. This is his week.
Do you have any cool stats to point us towards why?
No.
How about in the past 3 games, he still leads his team in targets?
You're good. Well, no shit.
That's cool, man.
He's not getting his touchdowns right now. Which
his issue is he's not getting those deep targets. He's not leading this team in yards per target. He's only at 9.4.
Dawson Knox?
Well, when you have it's Emmanuel Sanders at 13.1.
What's Dawson Knox's?
Just let me tell you here, whatever the over is,
11.9.
Whatever the point total is for this game, go over. The Bills might drop 40 on these guys against the
Titans. It's going to be all over because the Bills are going to push the over. It's not going to be the Titans pushing the over.
Yeah, Bills just don't give a fuck, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just going to go. But all right, Manny Sanders, Gabe Davis, how are we feeling about them guys?
I would start Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, I think he's touchdown dependent, but he's being looked, and the A-dot.
His air yards is insane, man.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, he leads his team in yards per target. I mean, that's what you love to see.
And then you're starting Dawson Knox, which is wild to say, but I feel like
super weird.
Knox is obviously they played 2 different positions, but Knox is eating into Stephon Diggs' target share a little bit. I feel like, unfortunately,
a little bit, yeah.
You got to think Knox was.
Diggs still got high target share though.
The tight end position for the Bills last year was complete nothing, and now we're talking about Dawson Knox as a top 10 guy. So
he'll cool down, but he's definitely going to stay tight end 1.
Agreed. I agree with you there. But jumping over to the Titans, Ryan Tannehill against Buffalo LaPlante. How are we feeling, pal?
Not good. Buffalo's got a good defense this year. Ryan Tannehill has been shaky.
Yeah, he's just not efficient. That offensive line is stopping him from being.
He's missing Arthur.
It's Derrick Henry season.
Yeah.
Another guy who's shutting me up.
Yeah.
Starting him.
I got a question here though, and it's a tough one, so I just want to get this by you guys. Scott has George Kittle. He wants to know if he should hold him through 3 to 4 weeks. I already asked him. His backup is Fant, and I believe Alex Collins is available on an upgrade on his.
He would drop him?
He would have to drop Kittle.
For Alex Collins?
Yeah.
I would trade him before dropping him.
Backup is Fant.
Trade before dropping him.
If you could trade him for a 2-for-1 and then get Alex
It's hard
Collins
to trade an injured guy. You know what I mean?
It's George Kittle, though.
Ike, but what does that mean?
Somebody's still going to have to miss out on weeks. Somebody's still going to have to miss out on 3 to 4 weeks with George Kittle.
But
That's
now
what you have to sell.
I feel like you got to think about Alex Collins as Carson for the most part now. Am I right or no?
No.
But Kittle's also shown you nothing, man. He's shown you nothing with these wide receivers in the lineup. He's shown you nothing.
But at the tight end position, he's showing you nothing. He's still before getting injured was still one of the top tight ends.
Mm-hmm. But he's always injured too. I'm done with him. I didn't draft him anywhere.
Oh yeah, I used to have him too.
I'm over him. LaPlante, what were you gonna say?
I'm over him as well. And Scott agrees with us. Nobody wants Kittle with only 4 bench spots.
Yeah.
Oh wow, 4, damn, but still.
I mean, if you're desperate, man.
Bench. That's wild.
Yeah, if you're desperate and you're on the short end of a losing record, I think going with the depth of Alex Collins is the play. Especially with Fant as your backup. I mean, if you were rocking somebody like who is it, Dallas Goedert, I'd be like, even so.
Dallas Goedert's going to be good now.
Yeah, without Ertz there. But yeah, man, sorry we didn't really give you a whole lot of help there.
No, I would say drop Kittle.
If
you might get lucky.
How many team league is it though? The bench is short, so it could mean like maybe it's a 16-team league.
I mean, no, it's not a 16-team league if Alex Collins is a free agent.
Yeah,
probably 10 or 12 then, or yeah. I don't know. That's tough.
I think it's worth a drop because you're gonna get Alex Collins as a starting running back. I mean, you're not missing out on weeks.
Problem is,
if you're dropping Kittle, it better be for someone you're gonna want to start. And if you have to start Alex Collins, then have fun with 10 points a week.
Well, yeah, let's wrap this up real quick. Talk about the pass catchers and the Titans. Like I said, they're both back from hamstring injuries. I think you can start them both, right?
Oh, yeah, but it's not confident. This defense is just really good right now. The Bills, man.
Yeah.
I want to know who Tre'Davious is going to line up on.
I'm going to guess A.J. Brown, I'd like to think. Or maybe he just sits on the one side of the field and whoever happens to go over there, that's who he's covering.
That's probably what he should do.
Yeah, no doubt. But, yeah, you start both of them. You don't love it. But they might see garbage time with, we believe that the Bills are going to kick the shit out of
I like A.J. more than Julio.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then, the tight end position's really nothing for Tennessee, but I think we could wrap this up. We got another
We're going to wrap it up, but we got one last question for a first-time viewer, so obviously we're going to help him out. Mm-hmm. He's in PPR. Do you like Gibson or Hubbard this week?
Ooh.
It's a good one. You got Gibson against the Kansas City Chiefs, and then you got the Carolina Panthers. Oh, man, who was it against?
Vikings, I think it was.
Yeah, yes. Vikings. That is a good one. Full PPR, I think I'm leaning Hubbard.
I think I'm leaning Gibson, actually, still.
I'm going Hubbard.
Hubbard's going to get the full workload, the passing game and the running game. There's no guarantee.
I'm worried about McKissick.
Like, Hubbard could easily have a bad day, but be saved by 6 receptions.
Sure.
Yeah,
if Gibson has a bad day, he won't see the passing volume. Like,
I wish he would.
Yeah.
No, we all do.
Converted wide receiver, and they don't use him as a wide receiver. Why not?
Yeah, he says he's concerned Gibson won't get the touches.
Agreed.
Yeah, go ahead with Chuba then, man.
Yeah, shoot for the stars, man.
Thanks for the question. Appreciate it.
Appreciate the first-time view as well.
Yeah, guys. LaPlante just posted it on the bottom. Follow us on Twitter at Mike LaPlante at @BeLikeMike with _ 2 eyes. I'm at DClemens2222, and Ike is at Ike2121.
We should probably put fantasy football in our names, huh? Like FF.
Yeah, whatever. But as always, please like and subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel, and please like the Wolfpack podcast, Fantasy Football Podcast on Apple, Spotify,
Any platform
Google,
you listen to it. To be
any
honest.
platform we're on it. If you can leave us a review, we really appreciate it. It helps us out a bunch. We're still giving away this Jerry Jeudy signed mini helmet, guys.
Still some time to get in.
Yep.
All you gotta do is click that
It's going to
subscribe
pick
button
up
on
now that
YouTube.
he's off the IR, I swear.
Look, Clan, we'll probably pull a winner this week, right? On that, I think we talked about that.
Yeah, it's either
we were
this week or next
we were
week.
gonna wait till 500 subscribers, but we're still a little further away from that. But yeah, we'll pull that at some point this week. But yeah, everyone who watched, thanks for that, and good luck at your matchups. And we'll talk to you next week. We'll be back Friday night next week, right, guys?
Yep, absolutely. Friday night at about 9 o'clock, I believe.
Should be 8.
Sorry, let me.
I'm fine with pushing it towards 8 if you guys want to.
Let me throw this shameless plug into Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock Central Time. Myself and LaPlante do the Sunday Social podcast for the website as well.
Don't make me be there again, man.
10:30.
Starts it live stream. If you guys got any more questions, feel free to hit us up and we will answer your questions live on the stream right away, kind of like we did tonight. So,
And if you have any breakfast questions, we'll answer that as well.
yep. And our boss Joe Bond will be on the stream as well with us, and top 5 fantasy pros ranker a couple seasons. So he knows what he's doing. So check us out tomorrow.
Peace out, guys.
Love you guys. Later.